Hey y'all, today I want to talk about personal evolution. So, we live in a world where there's this idea that we haven't figured out who we want to be, what we want to do with our lives pretty young, that we choose a path, we go to school, and then from 22, we're pretty set. We're going to advance in our career and then we'll retire. And that's sort of the template that people have worked on for many generations. And even nowadays, people really seem to have this idea in their heads, even though I don't know a lot of people who really follow that path anymore. And there's a lot of reasons for that, both personal and structural reasons for the more meandering paths that our lives seem to take. But even though it's so common nowadays, there still seems to be this feeling among so many people I know that if you don't have it figured out, that you're somehow failing at life. So I want to unpack this a little bit today and maybe see if we can redefine our idea of success a little bit. So, me personally, I'm probably on about my fifth life by now. Um, Reckless punk, theater artist, very serious poli sci student, youth worker, and now um, yoga teacher slash new age YouTuber, whatever it is that I am now. And along the way, there's been lots of side hobbies and hustles and different interests and wanderings off of the path. So, in this traditional sense, one might say that I'm a 35-year-old who hasn't really figured out what I want to be when I grow up. We define ourselves so much by these titles and value consistency really highly, even though we know that change is a fundamental part of life. Change shows our growth and our learning, and being able to flow with change can also show our bravery. And yet, we are so quick to reject these past selves of ours, to be like, oh, I don't know what I was even thinking then. Ugh, now I finally have it figured out. Now I'm finally the person I'm going to be for the rest of my life. Even though deep down we know that's not true, we're going to keep changing. It's inevitable. So, what if instead of thinking of our past selves as mistakes or failures, we saw those as steps along our journey? And what if instead of thinking we're supposed to have it figured out by the time we're 25, we saw ourselves as lifelong learners? And what if we could celebrate our ability to grow and to integrate all of these different experiences and see that as what makes our life unique and exciting? Just wait till you see what happens next. Who knows? It could be anything. And this reminds me of a quote by Joseph Campbell, who I'm going to paraphrase here. And he says that we make our life step by step. That if we can see the path laid out in front of us, that isn't our path. So I invite you to think of your life in this way. So with each step, we're learning and we're growing. We make choices, we move in a direction, but we could be wrong, or we could just change our mind. Be open to that. Be open to being wrong. You can always pivot. You can always do something new. It's all about integrating everything that has led us to this point. Consistency isn't a badge of honor. Consistency is an anchor holding you back from exploring what's really meaningful to you, what makes your life and your life path unique. And from here, we can start to redefine what it is that makes a successful life. What is it that lights us up? What is it that's in our heart? What really excites us and drives us forward? And this doesn't mean you have to quit your job tomorrow to pursue some passion. It doesn't even mean you have to have some singular passion that drives you. But what makes you happy? Can you make some space for that? It doesn't have to do with what you do for a living at all. It's not necessarily how you make money. But maybe you can make more space for happiness in your life, more space for connection, for rest and play and your loved ones. Maybe you can set some better boundaries between work and the rest of your life. this one life that we get. Or maybe it is what you do for a living, and that is amazing. And how can you fill your world with these things that make you happy, that make your life feel well lived? The point is that a successful life is a life lived on your terms. It's a life where you're allowed to grow and change and experiment and fail and try again. It's a life that you define. Success is not your income or the size of your home or your job title. That's capitalism. And capitalism doesn't have any interest in your journey through this one life that you have. So don't let that define you. Don't let that tell you what is success. You tell yourself what is success and what is a life well lived. Thank you so much for watching this video and joining me today. I hope it gave you some food for thought. If anything came up for you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Until next time.